I think you and I can agree. Whether you love or hate BILT's new cards, the BILT 2.0 launch was an absolute dumpster fire. That being said, the launch was just that, a launch. And even though it probably painted a lot of negativity in our heads, we still need to analyze these cards to figure out what makes the most sense for us individually. And I've been doing just that. And though I've been critical of the Palladium card in the past, I think the real diamond in the rough here is the Obsidian. And I'm going to prove it. Because at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie. And when I run the numbers on this one with the Sapphire Preferred, the value explodes. I'm not exaggerating when I say this actually might be the best credit card duo of 2026. And if you're thinking, no way this beats the Venture X plus the Saver, good. Keep that same energy because we're going to run it. In this video, we're breaking down what each card actually offers. Then I'll show you why these two cards fit so well together, especially if housing is one of your biggest bills. Finally, we're going to put them head to head against the setups everyone recommends. The Capital One Duo, the Amex Gold and Blue Business Plus, and the Citi Strata Premier and Double Cash Duo. That way we know for sure how this new Chase BILT Duo stacks up. Now to keep it real, I've been pretty skeptical of BILT for a minute. The rollout was confusing, the changes were messy, and my trust in them, more specifically their issuer card list, is in serious doubt. But you are not me, and you may have a different opinion on these cards. And that's what makes credit card optimization so fun. And this channel is just as much about your journey as it is about mine. So let me do the math and you decide for yourself if this duo is right for you. Now, I'm not here to sway you in one way or the other. I'm just going to give you the facts and do the research so you don't have to. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss this because when I ran the numbers through my spend analysis, the Obsidian card kept hitting in all of the right areas. And it's not necessarily because the benefits are sexy, it's because the math just works, especially if you're using this card to its full potential. Now, if you enjoy credit card strategy and analysis content, me and you would be friends. So hit that like button and subscribe because I'm pushing out content like this every single week. All right, let's jump into things starting with the backbone of this duo, and that's the Sapphire Preferred. Because really, this is the glue in this setup that fills in the cracks. And most people completely misunderstanding what's actually going on here. Now, the Sapphire Preferred comes with a $95 annual fee and a standard sign-up bonus of 75,000 ultimate reward points for 5,000 in spend. It earns 5x on travel booked through Chase's travel portal, 2x on all other travel, 3x on dining, 3x on online groceries, and 3x on select streaming. You also get 1x everywhere else, plus a 10% anniversary points bonus, which is 10% of your total yearly spend as a bonus at the end of each year. Now, the Sapphire Preferred is fairly simple. It's a dining and travel engine, plus you get that quiet boost from the 10% anniversary points every year. Now, in addition to decent multipliers, it also has some credits like a $50 hotel credit that can be used for hotels booked through Chase's travel portal. You also get some partner perks like Dash Pass and 5x on Lyft rides through 2027. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say these are some amazing credits. If you ask me, the credits are lacking and some of them could use a refresh. But I don't think it's unreasonable to get $50 plus in value per year from the credits and the anniversary points as a casual traveler. Lastly, you also get some really solid travel and purchase protection, especially for the price. This is one of the most underrated parts of this card in my opinion. And it's why I call it the glue of this setup. Just to highlight a few, you get trip delay reimbursement up to $500 per ticket for delays over 12 plus hours. You also get baggage delay insurance of $100 per day up to 5 days on 6 plus hour delays. You also get lost luggage reimbursement and primary rental car insurance, though it depends on your state. For example, in New York, it's just secondary. Now, you also get some great purchase protections with this card, which can cover new purchases for 120 days, along with extended warranties. Now, the three key parts of this card that this really brings to the duo are 3x multipliers on dining and streaming, elite for the price, purchase, and travel protections, and transfer partner access to things like Hyatt, United, Aeroplan, and others. Okay, now that we know what the Sapphire Preferred offers, let's break down the Obsidian. For this analysis, I'm assuming you're going with the BILT Cash option. Now, there is a second option that's simpler, but most people will get less value from that one, which is why I'm analyzing with the BILT Cash option here. Now, the BILT Obsidian comes with a $95 annual fee and comes with $200 of BILT Cash as a sign-up bonus. And the core pitch is points on your housing plus elevated multipliers on either dining or groceries. Now, the Obsidian earns 3x on either dining or groceries, where groceries is capped at $25,000 per year, plus 2x on travel and 1x on everything else. You also get 4% back on BILT Cash on everyday spend that's non-housing. Now, BILT Cash is this separate rewards currency inside BILT ecosystem. You also get 1x on mortgage payments when you pay it through BILT system if you can use that cash to redeem and unlock points on your mortgage. Now, if you're still confused on the BILT Cash math, I broke it down in more detail in my other video on the Venture X versus Palladium, so check that one out after this one if you want some more details. But really what you need to know here is that for every $30 in BILT Cash earned, you have the ability to unlock 1,000 points on your mortgage. Now, when you do this, your effective multiplier jumps by 1.33x up to 75% of your non-housing spend. So using BILT Cash to unlock housing points turns the effective multipliers into 4.33x on dining or groceries, 3.33x on travel, and 2.33x on everything else. Now you can see why on paper, this card looks like it would absolutely cook. In addition, this card also comes with $100 in BILT travel hotel credits per year, split semi-annually. Now this is usable on hotel bookings through BILT's travel portal with a minimum of a 2-night stay. It also comes with MasterCard protections, but I'm not going to hit on them here because the Sapphire Preferred's protections with Visa are better. And though it's complex at first, this card really thrives in our duo for 3 areas. The 3x multipliers on groceries, points on your housing with that 1.33x boost, and amazing transfer partners like Hyatt, Alaskan Air with Atmos, plus Japan Airways. So the strategy is this. Dining and streaming, use the Sapphire Preferred for 3x. Travel, use the Sapphire Preferred for 2x. Yes, BILT effective multiplier is higher, but I'd rather take Chase's customer service and travel protections than BILT and cardless. Then you have groceries and everything else. Put that on the Obsidian and use your BILT Cash to unlock points on your housing for that 4.33x on groceries and 2.33x on everything else. Now that we understand the cards, what they offer, and the strategy, let's break down a real spend analysis to see what you're actually earning here. Now for this, we're going to use a simple single person spend as the baseline. For housing, we're going to assume 2,100, travel 130, gas 125, and everything else 500. That's 3,550 per month and 42,600 per year. Now remember, the real driver here is that 1.33x boost from housing. And in our analysis, I'm going to break this down in 2 ways. First is going to be your overall return on spend with housing included. Second, it's going to be your return excluding housing. Because even though you can earn BILT points on it, you're not really spending on housing to earn those points. You're really unlocking points based on spend in other areas. So I'm going to give it to you in both ways, depending on how you want to look at it. But really, the results would be the same either way. And yes, I know you could potentially pay rent on a credit card, but for everyday spend, the fee usually isn't worth it. Now, if you're going for a sign-up bonus, that could be a different story though. And we're assuming here that if you don't earn BILT points on your housing, the points are going to be 0 for that spend type. Now, I know this can be a bit confusing, so if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll clear it up. But the main question we're trying to answer here is, does that one mechanism in points on your housing move the needle enough to beat the other big 3 duos? Let's find out. Now to kick things off, let's start with the Chase and BILT duo. The Sapphire Preferred is going to do dining, streaming, and travel. At dining, that's 2,700 per year at 3x, which is 8,100 ultimate rewards points. Streaming gets you 2,520 ultimate rewards points. Travel gets you 3,120. So total, that's 13,740 ultimate rewards points. At a 2.05 cent valuation, that's about $281 in value. Now here's where the Obsidian locks in. On the Obsidian, we're putting the groceries, gas, and everything else. And we're choosing groceries here as that 3x category. Now groceries is $4,800 per year at 3x, which equals 14,400 BILT points. Gas equals 1,500 BILT points. And everything else equals 6,000 BILT points. Now that's 21,900 BILT points before housing. But you also earn that 4% BILT cash on all of that non-housing spend. So your non-housing spend on BILT is 12,300, and at 4%, that's $492 of BILT cash. Now here's the math for the housing unlock. If the fee is 3%, then $492 of BILT cash covers $16,400 of rent payments. That unlocks 16,400 BILT points. So that would make your total BILT points earned 38,300. And at a 2.2 cent valuation, that's about $840. Now adding Chase and BILT together, you get a total value of $1,124.27, netting you a 2.64 return on your overall spend and an effective 6.46 return on spend excluding housing. Now remember, for this analysis, I'm assuming BILT is the only way you can earn points on your housing. And you can slice and dice this data any way you want, but the real point I'm trying to get around here is that this isn't hype. We're just trying to analyze the math. Now that we know the Obsidian Preferred, oh yeah, that's my nickname for this combo. You heard it here first. Yeah, this combo sort of cooks, but let's see how it stacks up to the other setups. First up is the Amex Gold and Blue Business Plus. The Gold for dining at 4x equals 10,800 MR points. Groceries at 4x equals 19,200 MR points, and the Blue Business Plus covers the rest. So total, that's 49,800 MR points at 2 cents, which is about $996. That's a 2.34 overall return on spend, including housing, and a 5.72% return excluding housing. Now, if your travel is mostly flights and you get the 3x instead of the 2x, your return may jump slightly to 2.41%, but the ranking here won't change. Next up, you have the Citi Strata Premier and the Double Cash. With this setup, you end up with 45,360 thank you points, and at a 1.9 cent valuation, that's $861 give or take. That's a total return on spend of 2.02% and a 4.95 return on spend excluding housing. Now, next up is the Capital One Duo, which is the Venture X plus the Saver. And if you don't portal optimize here, you get 43,140 miles. At a 1.85 cent valuation, that's 1.87% total return on spend and 4.59 excluding housing. Now, if you book through the travel portal at 5x for flights, that number jumps to 2.08%. So here's the final scoreboard on the total return on spend. In first place is the Sapphire Preferred and the Obsidian at 2.64%. Second is the Amex Duo at 2.34% to 2.41% depending on how you redeem. Third is the Citi Duo at 2.02%. And in last place is the Capital One Duo at between 1.87% and 2.08% depending on how you redeem. Now I know this isn't as straightforward as it seems. There are cards here like the Venture X with better travel protections, plus you got the lounge access. Cards like the Amex Gold, where if you use the credits, it can be a positive value instantly. Then there's the whole issue of cardless customer service, and the fact that the Obsidian really doesn't have a great welcome offer. But that's not the point of this video. The point is that as much as I hate to admit it, because BILT's entire 2.0 structure is so confusing and dumb, the Obsidian is actually an insanely powerful card for the right person looking for a certain type of setup. And if you're looking for a 2-card setup, there's no denying that for under $200 with top tier multipliers and transfer partner synergy, this is a setup that needs to be on your radar. Now, if this video helped you out at all, hit that like button and subscribe. And let me know your thoughts below. Is the BILT Preferred the best credit card duo of 2026? Or do you think one of these other setups wins, even if the earnings is less? And if you're looking to pick up one of these cards, I've got some affiliate links in the description below, so check them out if they look good to you. I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.